Welcome, welcome, one and all. What time did we make it? 1 minute to, and it's time for the Katie's Arms here on Insta Live. So if you're just joining, hello my loves. We're back. The pub doors are open, and the Katie's Arms is all yours for you to share all of your things, your thoughts, your tears, your fears. Should make a band called that, shouldn't they? Hello from sunny Bedfordshire. Hola! Or rather, hola. And thank you all for being here. We are many. Goodness me, we really are many. And it's lovely to see you. I will just fill up the old goldfish bowl of power, whilst you should all do the same. And say that tonight, here at the Katie's Arms, it appears that I've come as a kind of, I don't know, I'm thinking 1980s barmaid. Huh? What do you think? That smokes maybe 60 a day, kind of rough as old nails. The sort of barmaid that you might find like a caravan park and everyone's slightly scared of, whose face could literally, you know, yes, be used to hoover the caravan park. Whatever, that's what I think I've come as today. How are we all doing? Let's do the thing we do when we're together. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. I know they tell you to do that when you go for like massages or whatever, but in this case it's quite necessary when you're here in rainy bloody wherever that was. Exactly. How, if you're in the UK, how pissed on is it possible for one country to be? Seriously? How pissed on can we? It is absolutely shitting it down. And I'm just back from being on the road. Hello to everybody. Yes, hello. Much better for seeing you last night. Isn't that funny? Some of you, we were together last night, somewhere completely different. But here we are again, another night. And so I'm just back from being on the road around the UK. And so I took the lions for a walk. And by the river, I know, it was a deluge. The dogs tried to swim across, got halfway, realised they were going to be swept far out to sea and thought, ah. And both the dogs turned round mid-river and were like, no way, and made it back as they were also being swept away by the current. Would have been terrible to ring the RSPCA on that. But anyway, it's pissing down. Not only is it pissing down, but the river where I walk my lions, and I saw 2 otters, actually, today, smells of actual human poo. I was like, what is that? And I looked around in the field because I thought, well, either there's dog crap, but it wasn't that smell of dog. When you're a dog owner, you know the smell of dog shit. You can smell it at 1,000 paces. It was other crap. And then I realised it was human shit. Human shit is 100% flowing down the river, down the road from me, where I just saw the otters. So what does my glass say? My glass says Katie's Arms. Can you see the name of the pub? Some glorious people. When I rock up at venues, people either supply me with Merlot or brilliant ideas for things. And this is one of them, a brilliant Katie's Arms glass. We would love to make these and send them out to you all. But I'm guessing with the postal system being what it is, this would be like, it would cost you like 20 quid in postage and packing. And I can't do that to people because I'm not an utter turd. And the necklace, my barmaid necklace, I think, right, if you had like massive boobs, this would look really good. So I think if you're like, and you can wear a tea dress, things I can't do because I don't have boobs, this would be good. And it was cheap as shit, which means that by like, probably, in fact, during the Katie's Arms, this will probably be like rust colour. So let's see how long, let's see if it lasts the half hour. We love you, Katie, from Zambia. Back there soon. I plan to break into South Africa via Zambia, as it happens, in the back of some of our good side's wagons, because I'm banned from there at the moment, so I have to get back in. So this will probably tarnish in the half hour that we're here, because it's from Etsy. And nothing against Etsy sellers, but truly, Unless you wear things out really, 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 really quickly, that's it. It's basically disposable jewellery shit, isn't it? I mean, which is great. Can we talk Trump? Yes. So I drink... Oh, people don't know. Welcome if you're new. Come back to LA. I'd love to. I sleep on Skid Row when I'm there sometimes, just to hang out with my homies. The homeless people and I on Skid Row get along rather well. So this is what I drink. Barefoot Merlot. This bottle is much more empty than I thought it was. Given I only got home this evening. I'm not sure what we're saying, but I'm not sharing it with anyone. And this is cheap. Yes. Oh, hello, Sheffield. Waiting for a date in Yorkshire. Wouldn't that be great? And my husband, Lovely Mark. Oh, I've got gossip about Lovely Mark. Lovely Mark says this is cheap shit. But then that's pretty much how I would describe myself, right? And I'm really happy with being cheap. Cheap birds, huh? Who make you laugh. What's not to love? So Lovely Mark, last night, in our little secret gathering of people, secret our side. So I guess Katie's Arms live when I go about the country and people have me to their little gatherings, although actually we were quite a big gathering. And Lovely Mark came with me. He's coming with me on the road in the UK because I've been travelling in the States for so long on my own. So we're trying to do some of this together. Anywho, so the ladies quite like Lovely Mark. And it's great. So anytime if you're coming to see me on the road somewhere, do try and be like me, but worse, with Lovely Mark. Like you can flash your boobs at him or you can rub up against him because it makes Lovely Mark quite shy. And at one point last night, Lovely Mark was surrounded by all of the ladies that come, all the men too. Hello, Norwich. Lovely Mark. Lovely to meet you at a secret gathering last night. So do please surround Lovely Mark and make him feel awkward because I try and do that often, mostly with nudity. Unnecessary nudity. I stand really obnoxiously looking really ugly with one leg up on a stool when I'm naked. And even the lions are like, no one needed to see that. What the hell is that thing? Okay, that was an overshare. So, yes. So these ladies had made a wall of ladiness around Lovely Mark. So I got down, I call it scooching. I scooched down to behind knee height and I tried to squeak out of the venue, leaving Mark surrounded by ladies, just for the funsies. And he told me off later. He was like, you left me. Yes, I did. Right, shall we talk? What shall we talk? The heave, I know. I've never seen you. This is hilarious. What? Come here, bring friends. You can think what you want, be what you want, come from where you want, be straight, be gay, be nothing, be whatever you fancy being. We all wish you well and we want you to be great and we have to laugh because the only way we're going to make our way through this, the next 10 years or so, net zero fuckers, is by laughing at the madness. Let's have a laugh about this. Cheers! Yes, we will talk about Stafford. I have a lot to say about Stafford and I might need to address it separately to tonight, but we'll talk about that. Yes, we all come together here and we've done this since the beginning of lockdown when we knew things were just bullshit. Or even if you didn't think it was bullshit, you're still welcome now because we're going to need to stick together. So the latest is they're going to fine us if we don't have a heat pump installed, right? Heat pumps are 5,000 quid plus, 7 grand or whatever. So who has got 7 grand stuck up their arse to swap them for a heat pump right now? And also, who can be bothered with having someone in their house messing around with their boiler when it's pissing down, it's shitty weather, and the last thing you need is someone in your house charging you 10k to put in a heat pump that you never wanted, right? So we're going to be fined 100 quid on top of our excess bills if we don't have a heat pump. Fuck off with your heat pump. Sorry, Mumsy, but you shouldn't be watching. And then people that have a heat pump, have you heard? Heat pumps, they say, are terrific. Oh, they're terrific. Yeah, it's the Waitrose gang, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. With my children, Benjamin and Flo, yeah. And Andromeda, yeah.
the children and I, we just love the heat pump. Yes, terrific. Yeah, yeah. The only time the heat pump's not so good is like when it's cold. Yeah, not so good in the cold. Oh,
That's why you need heating, isn't it? You don't need to heat your house, do you, Floella? Huh? If it's warm, these people are just like, they cannot, they are the Joey Deacon in caps lock. We never said we wanted net zero. Take your net zero and shove it up your ugly arse that's never done any exercise in its life. Piss off. Right, let's talk about Trump. My dad got a heat pump and it broke within a month. Take that, Dad. Imagine that. Not sort of segueing from your dad to a crematorium. Imagine if they tried to run the creme on heat pumps. We can't burn your dad today because the the heat exchange has gone down. That'll be the next thing, won't it? With the net zero freaks. We won't be allowed to burn people in the creme because it's too much CO2. We'll have Greta Thunberg standing at the edge of your creme going, how dare you, now that she's 21 and got a moustache. She's not quite as cute as she was before. How dare you burn your own father? Joey Deacons. Oh. Trump indictment, let me tell you. I don't know why I just squeezed my boobs together. I don't try to be this childish, but being this childish and, showing you what I am, it's a worry really, isn't it? You see why I kept up the ballsy bitch thing for so long, because if I'd showed this side, I'd never have been taken seriously for anything. Can you imagine giving me an actual job if I was this, which I always was? So, Trump, clearly political, blah, blah, blah. But I think this isn't really about stopping Trump running. This is about getting the mugshot, right? That's the bit they want. They want the mugshot because mugshot, the shorthand of a mugshot, because it's what we're brought up with, mugshot equals criminal, right? That's what they want. That's the messaging, that's the everything. Mugshot equals criminal. The second thing they want is for our side, MAGA, people who want the best for each other, people who are pro Second Amendment and weapons, people who, I'm just generalising on things you might be, you might not be, and that's perfectly fine. They want us to kick off. So like January the 6th, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the CIA were amongst the MAGA networks trying to get some sort of rally, trying to inflame, trying to get a protest that would kick off and all hell would break loose. And then they could properly call our side a terrorist network. And that's why our side has to be super smart. They have to fall into line. We have to be like, okay, watch him walk up the court steps and be magnanimous. Watch him in his red tie. Watch those donations flood in. And watch people, even if you cannot stand Trump, even if you're not an American, even if you're a Democrat, even if you're someone who just believes in, just love net zero, love Gavin Newsom, really think the Democrats are great. Surely you can see the use of law for political purposes is not cool. And if you can't see that, well, you're not really worth shit anyway, are you? So do one. That's my take. For what it's worth and what it's not. All I know is there's a bit of Trumpy that will be secretly quite enjoying it. Also notice how boring the world is without him. What you have Biden in his diapers talking about chocolate ice cream while shitting himself. And over here you've got invisible Sunak at 4'3" with his short trousers on. And then you see him walk down the street and then go next to an actual real person and it's like a Diddy man. No one wants to talk about them because they've nothing to talk about. At least with Trump there was something to talk about. It was kind of fun. Okay, so that's my take on Trump. Love him still. And he'll prevail through this. Whatever happens, he'll prevail. And he will have his mugshot done, and I hope he has his hair done huge. I hope his hair is bigger than Dolly Parton's. When I have to have my mugshot done, we need to think. Yes, you have Trudeau. Exactly. Trudeau, Macron, Rishi. All cut from the same teeny, tiny bit of cloth. and all, what shall we say? What should we say about their sexuality, I wonder? Well, let's just say the wives are placed there for a reason, shall we? All of that lot. Let's talk about how screwed is Scotland. Anybody here from Scotland, please? Cheers to all the good people of Scotland. I'm sorry that you've been royally rogered. Hamza Yousaf. The name that just rolls off the tongue. More tartan than tartan itself. Is there a Hamza? Is there a Hamza tartan? One wonders. Is there a whiskey named after a Hamza? How far back down the Scottish lineage does Pakistani go? And what is the first thing we tend to do when we go into official residencies designated as powerful historical reference places for the people of Scotland? Oh yeah, that's right, we crack on with an Islamic prayer. Nothing against Islamic prayer, that's lovely, you do it. You fast all day and have a good old prayer and do whatever. But if a Christian person did the same, don't see it going so well. Do you? No. Unsayable, but just said it. So there we are. I look forward to my arrest. I could get a mugshot. Yes, so when I have a mugshot, what look shall I go for? We could go for this, the barmaid look. We could go for full-on retro, so like 1980s apprentice look. Or we could go for my, what was my when I had my short hair, the sort of lesbian footballer look, when people were really confused in America because I had short white hair and they were like, oh, she's a conservative, but she's a lesbian. This is really confusing. Hope she doesn't come near me. And I would have to explain, I have short hair, but I'm not a lesbian. I mean, it would be fine if I was, just that I'm not, and explain that to Americans. Yeah, the short hair was because of my surgery. But what I never wanted to do was be like, I have short hair, I'm not a lesbian, but I had massive, massive brain surgery, because that's like kind of self-pitying, and then people would feel guilty, because they'd be like, shit, I just thought she was a rug muncher, but actually, she nearly died. Bad me. And I don't want people to feel like that. I'd rather, it's fine if you thought I was a rug muncher, maybe I will be one day. I don't need any, there's no sympathy I need. It's fine. So I don't mention that, but it was like, yeah, I just chose to have this weird hair. I choose to look like Julian Clary sometimes. Or Boris Becker. Okay, can I have a serious 2 minutes? Did I rock the short hair? Thank you. One of the things that happened early in LBC, and I came from the hospital to do the LBC press shot, where I looked like dead Julian Clary. I was dead. I was ill, so sick, couldn't climb the stairs. Anyway, there was a day, maybe a month on from just about surviving that whole thing, and my producer at LBC said to me, could you stop being such a fucking chemo patient? And I tell you, it was the most brilliant thing anyone could ever say, because I'd kind of got used to having just about survived, and I had some serious stuff going on. It had been like 3 months of being in hospital, meningitis and all that stuff, and not having a skull, and many other things that went along at that time. And because I was so pleased with myself, because I was alive, and I had a radio show, and I remember the headphones I couldn't wear properly because the headphones were exactly the same as my scar, and it had staples in. But anyway, I was so pleased at being alive, I never thought about not looking like Julian Clary. And so it took someone just saying, oh, will you fucking get over yourself, for me to go, yes, I'm going to get white hair, and then I'm going to dye it pink. Okay, here we go. Let me just tell you here at Katie's Arms what's gone on. And then what I'll do on Monday, maybe, I'll do a proper statement and I'll think about how I write that so that I can communicate this sensibly. But this is, yes, look, this is Stafford. This is from me to you privately. And then on Monday, I'll try and put it more sensibly. But let me just give you a very brief outline. You'll know that I'm trying to do stand-up tour across the UK to rally our side and for our side to feel better. And by our side, I mean anybody that just needs to have a laugh, mostly at me, as you see here. And after the success of Blackpool, its most successful event in its history, 35, 40 venues booked me. And I was like, what? From being completely banned in the UK, I can go on tour across the UK and I can see us all and we can all come together. And I was so made up. And venue after venue just fell out, just got attacked by it. It is one person at this point who is achieving all of this. And because it's me, I think, there's multiple police reports of this stalker, and the police as yet haven't done anything, and those police reports are coming out of all the different towns. Police are supposed to go visit, but I don't mind that either. I don't want to get the police involved. I don't really have faith in the police anymore. But Stafford was one of the theatres that said it would stand firm. And I was so overwhelmed. I thank those boys so much. I've been in contact with them loads, always sharing good news. And then just this week, so Stafford's 500 strong of us, completely sold out. Was sold out within a few weeks, actually. There was only a few tickets remaining and it was sold out. 500 odd people who parted with their money, your money, in order to come to this. And I don't care. I don't care about the stage, and I certainly don't care about the money. I'd already told them, keep all the money. Just please let this happen. And this week, they cancelled the venue on us. And you know, they haven't told me, and no one's messaged me about it, not the boys who know me now. They just pulled the venue and they just gave everyone their money back. And they didn't even say, it's not Katie. And that's what really hurts me, because I would never, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I don't care actually if I'm half dead, I'm going to do it. So they cancelled the venue. And they didn't tell me, and that's okay, because that's me. But I'm just so disappointed for everybody, because actually I believe with all my heart that these events really matter. Because I see how people come to an audience, look around and go, oh my goodness, these are all my people. These are the people, I didn't know all these people were here. And we have this lovely time, and then in the interval, everyone's talking to everyone. And there's just this noise, like it reminds me of the old times, when wherever you went, there was someone to talk to, because we're all the same. And I mean that my audiences are not the same. We're black or white, we're straight or gay or something else, or we're fat or thin, or we're odd or not, me being the most odd. We're so different, but we're the same, because we want everyone to be okay. And I just wanted to just briefly, I don't want to, I'm not trying to dig, I'm not trying to embarrass anyone in particular, but I just wanted to say, if I'm able to still read, a brief email that I sent to the Gatehouse personally on the 3rd of March to X and Y. I hope you're both really, really well. I thought these two things might be interesting and helpful, and I also wanted to make a suggestion. This is when I knew they were trying to pull on me, because they'd said that another act that they'd booked in the theatre the same night that hadn't sold really any tickets were causing trouble. So first of all, I suggested that that my audience is the most important thing to me. Many are travelling from across Europe and are looking forward to this as the highlight of their year. If I may be so bold, our audience of 500 or so paying ticket holders also have a voice, and they have invested a great deal of time and money and effort in securing their place at the event, right? This is where I know what it's like. You pay money, you've bought hotels, you've bought your transport. People haven't got money. And I've got one here from someone coming from Ireland. And I copied that to the boys so that they would see. I understand that another smaller event is booked on the same night and they've been creating problems. If I might say, I do believe priority should be given to our larger sold out audience. And if another artist is causing issues, I would respectfully suggest it's their show and their much smaller audience that should be rescheduled. So I'm trying to say here, if the other act is causing problems for us, I would politely ask that they were rescheduled, because I have no view on any other artist, no matter how, even if they hate me, I have no view on them. I don't want to mess with them. And then, Katie, what's just happened? Nothing's happened. Everything is totally fine. When I start to touch on how much it means to me that people come to events to be together, this is Stafford pulling the venue from us, and not that telling me matters, but just that in terms of me trying to tell you. And then finally, if I could just make this one point, and then I'm going to drop this topic. I would also like to offer a helpful solution. When I went to South Africa to film my documentary, I spent 3 months living on the white farms of South Africa. The security I had for that was unbelievable. And I'm still friends with all of those boys today, and they are beyond anything. And I tell him what these boys are capable of, and it's extreme. I said, Mark and I are offering to fund the contract to this security detail, and that this security detail do very significant things. Mark and I will fund the contract to secure this event. So what I was basically offering was to take any money that was made at all, and money we have, and pay for the sort of security that you might have at the Olympics, for example, in order to ensure our audience could go there. He will bring his most trusted men. His expertise is not required for this event, but we will invest completely in this in order for you to be reassured, and most importantly for our lovely audience not to be let down by a handful of noisy individuals. And I just wanted to share that with you, because that's what I sent that on the 3rd of March. So I just wanted to say that Mark and I were prepared to throw any money at Olympic level, plus actually security, for an event that didn't require any security, to try and make them go ahead, and they still pulled. And I'm not trying to justify myself. I'm trying to let you know that I will not let things go, and I will continue to fight. So please know that. That's all. Thank you. I will drop that. We became 364,000 strong on Instagram. So cheers to that. Let's have a little drink to put my throat back into order. I'm sorry for that. I need to pull myself together. It's called the Gatehouse in Stafford. And obviously I couldn't tell you the names of the individuals involved. But if one was called Gary and one was called Keith, for example, they would be the ones that might have received an email like I've just read to you. Anyway, we're moving on, my loves. Because you know what? There's so much positivity. There's so much positivity. I've spent the week on the road. Our side is rallying. I am going to be at speakeasies all over the place. People have met since lockdown from Stand in the Park, and they're still meeting now. And it's just so great to be at those venues. I bloody love it. I will continue to support. If any venue will change its mind, I'll be there in a shot. I don't want to be paid. I will pay for the security. I just want our side to gather. And we have got new venues, as you know, in London. We've got new venues in Sittingbourne. I think those tickets are nearly all sold. This is the thing as well. People want to come, let them buy a ticket. If someone doesn't want to come and they disagree with this stand-up thing, don't come. And Purfleet still has tickets. So I would love it if people would come to Purfleet. That one's on, I believe, I want to say the 7th of May. I think it's the 7th of May, Purfleet. And I have to be so admiring of the venues that are just refusing to budge. And that's why I need, this is where I can rely on you guys. And this is the thing about Stafford. They were overwhelmed by you because I called on you once before to tell them thank you for standing firm. And you did, But there we are. Good. We will continue. We aren't stopping. This is the thing, is we'll get punched and I will fall to the canvas sometimes. I've never pretended, I've pretended otherwise, but I've fallen flat often and just lain there going, ugh. But the thing is, like some weird pterodactyl, like my mother would say, haggard pterodactyl, eventually from my floor, from the canvas, we come back bigger. And I am willing to be punched in the face as many times as it takes to put on as many shows as we can wherever we can make them happen. And if that means tomorrow I need to be punched in the face by another venue cancelling and not telling me and letting my audience down, I'll do it. I'll do it. And I'm honest with these venues at the front end as well. I say you may get some grief. It's unwarranted, but you may get some. I will keep being punched in the face for us to see what happens and to turn the oil tanker, because we're going to turn it. And it might involve some loss of limb. I may have to lose teeth and be punched more, but we're going to turn this thing. We are like a phoenix from the flames. Exactly. Just like Icarus. We will fly to the sun. I will terrify them with my dangling labia and my deported tattoo from my arse. That took a turn. I may have lost some support there. But, in fact, I could probably fly using my labia alone, couldn't I? Like some demented seagull flapping its wings. Let's not do that. Yes, so I think that was all I wanted to say. I kind of feel like this is what happens. It's very much like a confessional, this. The Katie's Arms is very much like a confessional. And so I'd rather overshare, I fear. So sorry about that. Norwich would be great. It would. Why does Norwich spring to mind? I don't know. Come to Dubai. I could come to Dubai and make a play for Andrew Tate. As soon as he's got out of being in prison, stopped feeling sorry for himself and maybe done something about his hair. Maybe had a shower. Look a bit rough around the edges. Maybe we'd all look a bit rough around the edges if we were chucked in a Romanian jail and left there with nothing but Twitter. Right, my darlings, it is time for me to go. Yes, someone's like, stop now, Katie. Time to stop. There are many Katies and we rise every day. That's exactly it. You know, that is exactly what I think, is that lots of us feel like we're punched in the face, right, every day by all number of things, our own friends or family or things that happen or work or whatever. And every day we try and kind of pull it back together and go, come on then. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I hope you all have a brilliant weekend. I thank you for joining me here at the Katie's Arms. You're just the most terrific bunch. And I will undoubtedly see you somewhere on the road. And if I may leave you, if you've got a pen to hand, there is really, really good news. Some kind of epic level Icarus shit. And I've got the dates here, 7th, 8th and 9th of July 2024. Just do me a favour, would you? And if any of your friends are getting married on that weekend, just tell them to rearrange the wedding. 7th, 8th, 9th of July 2024. We will turn the oil tanker, and on this particular weekend, going to bring that oil tanker in. 7th, 8th, 9th July. Write those dates down. And I will see you next week here at the Katie's Arms, no doubt on Insta this week. Do keep sharing. Tate's out. Good. Do keep looking after each other, please. And I will see you somewhere on the road. And I do wish you a very, very happy Easter.